I cannot believe it. Unbelievable. The local lake comes through and gives me my PB. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. The dog days of summer are here. We are gonna chase some panfish today, one of my favorite things to do in the summer. I am targeting a lake that has supposedly really big crappies. So the goal today is to try to find some of these 12 plus inch crappies in this lake. I anticipate potentially finding a few bluegills in here too that are big. This lake is the special regulations from Minnesota. On here, 5 bluegills, 5 crappie limits, which is very low for any state. But the intent for those regulations is to try to keep the big fish in here. So we're gonna see what we can find in this little puddle jumper lake. It's not that big. It's been quite a while since I fished it in the summer. Looking forward to the afternoon. Hopefully we'll dodge some of the thunderstorms that are forecasted in a few hours so we can stay out for a good chunk of time. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday, and there's nobody here. Nobody. Where y'all at? This is just the benefit of targeting some of these small inland lakes in these northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin regions. I don't even see anybody out on the lake, even though the South Shore's got a good amount of cabins on it. So hopefully it will be fun with some big crappies and bluegills today. Let's go fishing. It's the Ordinary Fisherman Season 5, Dog Days of Summer. And it starts right now. Can't forget your sweet tea. Had to switch to the old cold drink today on a hot day instead of the coffee. Whoa, making my own waves. So I've never really fished this lake hard in the summer for panfish. I've fished it for walleye before. And this lake is very similar to the lake up in Ely that I fish, as far as the stained water and some of the weeds that I'm seeing. And in that other lake near Ely, I've caught a lot of crappies in these tinsel weeds. So I'm going to creep over to these and just start fishing those right away before we lose time with potential storms. I'm going to start pitching with my little crappie finder plastic. Had to do a little equipment test because all my equipment got drenched on the Brule River this week. I was trying to film an episode with Uncle Mike, and it didn't really work out. We didn't catch as many trout as we hoped, just a couple small ones, and then we found ourselves capsized. So everything got wet, and I'm pleased that the equipment survived. All right, so we're going to take our time on the shoreline a little bit while we've got time. See if there's some panfish hanging out in these tinsel weeds. There's some reeds also up in the shoreline. So we've got multiple different types of vegetation we can try. All right, we got our first panfish here. Oh, it's a decent bluegill. Decent bluegill. I switched to pink, and it liked it. Ooh, if we're going to catch bluegills like that. Nice. Do a quick measurement here. 8 3/4. What a great start. Beautiful bull. They're up a little bit shallower than I thought. I thought I would catch them on the edge of these tinsel weeds. They're more on the back side of the tinsel weeds. At least it seems like it. I've been seeing some fish surface over here. Kind of by these lily pads, reeds, tinsel weeds, kind of all of them mixed together. Every lake is its own ecosystem. And it has a little bit different kind of food, and so the fish just relate differently to these weeds and structures. It really depends on where the food is. Water temps are about 75, middle of a July day. That's not too hot, actually. So the temps shouldn't really be preventing them from being anywhere they want to. Here we go. There we go. Another nice bluegill. There we go. This one's a little bit smaller, but in that 8-inch range. Oh, is it a pretty fish? And this dark stained water, their colors just get a deeper, more rich looking orange and blues, even a little bit of purple. All right. I'm starting to get excited now. Starting to get excited because there is a good chance of a 10-inch bluegill hiding among these guys. So this bobber rig that I have set up, I've talked about many times in past videos. It really, really allows you to get into pockets on these weeds especially, and reeds. And once you get used to how it kind of moves through the weeds, you really don't get caught that often, especially when you get better at casting and hitting your spots. Oh, I should have brought my top water. I should have brought my... Oh, there we go. I thought about bringing my fly rod. Come on up. Oh, yeah, here's a good female. Look at her. Nice and yellow. Another nice 8+ inch bluegill. Yeah, fantastic. I bet you I probably could have caught them on the fly rod. They're all surfacing. This rig right here is really the best thing to use in all of this. It's got my little 32nd ounce fly jig on there, tipped with a power bait wiggler. So I'm putting the power bait wiggler on right now, and that gives the fly its body, right? And now it really looks like a fly. And that plastic actually allows it to float perfectly horizontal, which is great. And then it reacts really well as the bobber goes up and down and makes it look alive. I really like to use slip bobbers, especially the smallest still slip bobbers that are out there, because in still water like this, I can jerk it, right? I'll jerk the top and it will give the fly some action. So it's a good multi-purpose rig. I rarely sit still with this rig. I kind of fish it like you're fishing maybe a worm, bass fishing. Cast it out there for a couple seconds, let it sit 5-10 seconds, and then slowly reel it in, like jigging it, giving it some action. And then when you think you're out of the strike zone, oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I got a good spot here. All right. Another nice bluegill. Yeah. My bluegill smile's coming out. Oh, now just a few nice crappies. Let's get a few nice crappies in this mix. This rig is great for bluegills and crappies. I get both of them on here all the time. Just got to know where they're at. If you know where they're at, this rig will catch them. There's a set of lily pads on each pocket of reeds. And maybe that's where they're kind of hanging out in this in-between. Oh yeah, there's a school of them right there. Holy smokes. All hanging out under the lily pads. There's a good one. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're averaging 8+ inchers. Looking good. Looking good. All right, buddy. Beautiful male. So these power bait wigglers come in 3 main colors. They have like a chartreuse green, pink, and white. I happen to have just white on me, but that's okay because I can use the pink fly with the white body, and so I get both colors. Well, if this just ends up a big bluegill outing, I'll be happy, but I sure would like to find a crappie or two, especially knowing this lake can produce some 14-inch crappies. This is a decent one. These bluegills. So big, so pretty. Oh, there's the biggest one of the day so far. Oh, yeah. Yeah, bud. Yeah, bud. Oh, yeah, a 9-incher. There's our first 9-incher. Bluegill fishing in northern Minnesota, when you have the right lake, they can produce some big uns. There's a 10-incher here yet to be had. I just know it. Jeez. That's why I love this longer light action rod. It's heavy action, so it's stiff. Love to feel that bluegill thump. Another nice female. You guys are going through my power bait wigglers. That's kind of abnormal. Usually these wigglers stay on a bit longer and last a whole bunches of fish. These guys are getting them off just right somehow. So normally that's the cool thing you use in this rig is you don't have to rebait every time. Oh my gosh. This one's pulling the drag a little bit. I feel like I'm in heaven. I feel like I'm in heaven. Oh my. Sugar pie. Beautiful fish. Again, all in that 8 to 9-inch range. They're all varying. A little bit smaller, a little bit bigger. That is a great average up here. 8 to 9 inches. Boom. Boom. This might be the smallest one of the day, but it fights like it wants to be big. Well, it's not too bad. Another 8-incher. So as far as I know, I'm the only one that uses a fishing rig like this for panfish. I don't know, 15, 16 years ago now, I was kind of making do with what I had in my tackle box, right? And just kind of put something together to catch bluegills because I didn't have any night crawlers. And that's what started this, right? I had a fly, I had these power bait wigglers, and I had just a clip-on little bobber. And I started catching bluegills with them. And then over the years, I developed it into this slip bobber rig. And to my knowledge, as I've fished with this well over 15 years now, I've never seen anybody else fish it. I'm not saying that they don't fish a little fly in a plastic of some kind. I just mean like this whole application of a adjustable bobber rig with a 6.5 foot, 7 foot in this case, light action rod with this little fly jig on it, tipped with a power bait wiggler. And I just catch so many panfish on it. It's hard to do anything else. You know, I really love to use this little paddle tail for casting that I've shown in other episodes. And then this one in these applications where it's just weeds everywhere and you got to hit certain areas. You know, trying to cast this paddle tail in here, I could do a couple lanes, but I'm limiting myself. For this bobber, I can get into like every single little pocket in here if I wanted to. And it's just putting the lure right in front of them. And again, you don't let it sit there forever. You just let it sit there for 15. Whoa, here's our first crappie. 15, 20 seconds. All right. I'm going to net this guy. All right, there. That's what we're looking for. That's a good one. That's going to be almost 11. Catches the crappies too. It catches the crappies too. That's what we're looking for. That was the target species today. That was right under the lily pads next to those tinsel reeds. 11 and a quarter. That's what I'm talking about. Big bluegills and big crappies. Ugh. That's my crappie smile. Got the bluegill smile, now I got the crappie smile. Here's my first 10-incher, I think. Just as I turned off my camera, I get this guy. Oh, what a toad. Oh my gosh, what a toad. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize how big he was until I put him in my hand. This one might be bigger than 10 and a quarter, which is my biggest Minnesota bluegill ever. Oh man. Oh, would that be icing on the cake today? Get my personal best. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Here's the 10-inch mark right here. That's the 10-inch mark. Right? So 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half. 10 and a quarter. Oh, it hits the 10 and a half. No way. Unbelievable. I've got my PB, the personal best. It's my personal best, baby. My personal best. I cannot believe it. Unbelievable. The local lake comes through and gives me my PB. 10 and a half incher, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, I've been waiting a long time for you. All right, we can have a good release here. Oh, yeah. We'll be caught another day. Speechless. Speechless. Don't know what to say. Oh, crazy. Crazy towns. I had no idea I was coming out to catch my personal best bluegill today in Minnesota. 10 and 3/4 is my all-time personal best. That was caught in North Carolina, and that's kind of a different kind of bluegill. They grow faster down there, and that's not too uncommon. You know, trophies down there are really more in the 11+ inch range. You get any bluegill over 10 inches here, man, and you start finding bluegills that are 10 and a half. I've never put my hands on a 10 and a half inch Minnesota bluegill, ever. Oh, yes. Beautiful. I haven't left this patch. This patch of weeds is probably 50 yards wide, and then I'm just fishing this 3-foot section between the reeds and these submerged weeds. And the submerged weeds are lily pads and tinsel reeds. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Crappie. Oh yeah. Right where you think they'd hang out in a lake like this. On one of the tinsel weed edges. Another 10-incher. That's 3. We got a pattern. We got a pattern, folks. There's enough crappies hanging out shallow here to be worthwhile when you catch 3 of them like that in a span of 20 minutes maybe. Super diddly ooper encouraging, because I haven't done it before on this lake. It's amazing how some of these lakes are so similar. Oh, come out of those weeds. Come on out. Oh, here's another nice bluegill. Oh, it's another toad. Oh. 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 Another nice big one. Oh, am I going to have 2 10-inchers today? Oh. Unbelievable. We're going to find out. I've never caught 2 10-inchers in one day, ever. And I caught my personal best 10.5-incher. And here's another 10-incher. Another 10-incher. This is the lake. This is the lake. Oh, I didn't get to kiss my 10.5-incher because he had to go back. So you get the honors. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Wow. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Well, now I'm super glad that the DNR has put the restrictions on this lake, because that's going to keep fish like that around for a long time. I mean, that one is old, so it's only got a few more years of life probably. But if you want to keep consistent 9.5 to 10.5 inch bluegill in a fishery with an average that's already creeping up there, you got to limit how many fish you're going to take out of those waters. And the DNR has rightly identified this lake. Why have I not been fishing this lake more often? Why? Why? I don't know. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. There's a crappie. Nice crappie too. Yes. Is this back to the 11-incher maybe? Or are we still in the 10-inch class? We're going to net it. We're going to net it. Just to be safe. It might be an 11-incher. So 10.5 is close to 11, right? Folks, get yourself a rig like this with the old 32nd or even 64th ounce fly. Tip it with a power bait wiggler or your favorite small little plastic. Find yourself a lake with a healthy largemouth bass and panfish population. Fish some of these deep weed edges. If you're in the upper Midwest, you probably will get a consistent summer bite. And find you some of these beautiful panfish. The more you look around in lakes nearby, the more you'll find little gems like this one that will produce awesome, awesome blue gills and crappies. 10.5 inch bluegills, 11-inch crappies. Beautiful. Thanks for joining me today on another episode of The Ordinary Fisherman. Take your kid out with you the next time you get out. God bless everybody in tight lines. Make sure my sound's on. Oh yeah. The thing shuts off on me every once in a while, and then I don't have any good video because the audio's shot. Never have to deal with live bait. My goodness. Having troubles getting my camera started. Bobber's going down. Can't set the hook. Can't get the camera to go. I need to get my towel. My hands are starting to get slimy. Ooh, there's a bite. Oh! I missed him. I'm so excited to try to get it in there. I'm not casting. Keep missing. There we go. Good fish right there. Come on. Come on. Bluegills are cooperating. We've got ourselves. He won't fit. He's too broad. I keep losing my wiggler. My power bait wiggler. Power bait did not sponsor this episode. Wish they did. I go through these wigglers like no tomorrow because I use them so much for my pan fishing. Nope. No fish there either. Did I get him this time? I did. Because it's the smallest one of the day. Are you the one who's trying to pretend you're a crappie? Huh? Go and grow up. Be like your grandma and grandpas I've been catching. Thank them for me while you're down there. For all the good times they've been giving me so far. I love it. I love it. I love it. Wow. It was way better of an outing than I thought it would be. I thought I was just going to catch a handful of fish here and there and just kind of piece together an episode. And I've only been fishing for 40 minutes. Everything you've seen so far has only been 40 minutes worth of fishing. Oh my goodness. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Not me. The rest of the fish I catch all day will just be cherry on the sundae. After that big boy.